Yeah, persistence is important because let's say you want something really bad and you keep trying and you keep trying and you keep trying, and on the 10th try you don't get it still. But what if you didn't know that on your 11th try you would have made it?
All right, y'all, so I'm back with another video. If you're new here, welcome. Take a look around, like, comment, subscribe, let me know that you are here. Take your shoes off, look at the other videos, make yourself at home. You are family now. If you are returning, welcome back. Pay no attention to this. I had a pimple and I was picking at it like I always do, and then I gotta put ointment on it to try to make it go away. Luckily, I have some concealer upstairs, so if I'm going out for a Super Bowl party or work tomorrow, I can cover this up. Anyway, I wanted to come to y'all, speaking of work, and talk to y'all about my work experience and how I am right now. I just felt the need to talk to y'all about that. So, before I get into the job that I'm currently working, let me just say, working for me has been an extremely difficult journey. For some reason, I don't ever keep a job. 30% of the time I quit. It don't work out, circumstances happen, I need to leave. 70% of the time I get terminated, and I don't even understand why. You know, I do get that in retrospect there are things I could have changed, like the call outs, which were not that frequent, but you know, dealing with my mental health, sometimes you need a day to regroup or a day to kind of like recharge and come to yourself, center yourself, get your mind right. Then of course circumstances happen. You may be late someday. You know, different things come up that have resulted in me losing multiple jobs. So with that, I have kind of been leery of jobs. I've even reached a point in my life, not now, but at some point where I was just like, maybe working is not for me. So I tried to lean into content. I tried to lean into my music. I tried to lean into, you know, the things that I'm passionate about as far as like a lifelong career, like my calling. But jobs is just, I don't know. I've held a nice amount of jobs. A couple jobs I've held for a nice length of time. But even the job that I had for a length of time, the longest job I've ever had, I was out and in. I wasn't consistently there for the entire time I was employed. I was there, then I got fired. I came back, then I quit. Then I came back and I got promoted to manager, and then I got fired. Like, it just was an ongoing thing, and I experienced this so much. So I still haven't gotten an answer as to why. I'm pretty sure if I pray about it, God's gonna show me all of the mistakes that I made to lead me to where I am, because I'm at a place where I'm taking full accountability. But that was that. So it happened again, November 19th. I made a video about it, but I was trying to clear some space and ended up deleting the video by accident. But I made a video as soon as I got terminated. I went outside to my balcony, made a video just to try to, you know, quantify everything, or, you know, to try to encapsulate or, you know, capture the moment. So that was November 19th. Luckily, at that point, I was still working a second part-time job at a retail store. So, but that was seasonal. I had got hired on for the Christmas season. So I started like maybe late October, and I worked that job until January 4th or 5th. I thought after we passed Christmas, they were gonna keep me on. I was so excited. My manager in that department was so excited, and then I got an exit letter. So she said I could reapply in April. I may reapply in April just for some extra finances, some extra income, but I'm not really sure because that really kind of broke. Well, it didn't break me, but it hurt my feelings, and it kind of like disappointed me because I was doing a good job. I was getting accomplishments. I was getting achievements. I was getting recognition. And y'all still didn't decide to keep me on. And I working there for the couple of months, knowing that 80% of us were temporary and seasonal, I would assume they would have kept some of us on, but I don't know. So luckily I still had that job. And then I confided in a friend about what I was going through, and she gave me some resources. One of those resources was a staffing company. I reached out to the staffing company, let them know that I was looking for work, primarily work from home because that's easier for me and more convenient, but if not, I'm willing to take it. She had a job that was available for me. It was downtown, which is maybe like 30 minutes from where I live, and It was a little bit more pay than the job I had got terminated from, and it was Monday through Friday, you know, and acceptable hours. I was like, okay, great, I'll take it. She sent my information off to the employer, and literally within the hour, she called me back and said I got the job. That was fantastic. That was on January 2nd. I started the job on January 6th. So I really didn't miss a beat. God is amazing. Immediately, I started with trials and tribulations. The first day. Now, keep in mind, I don't know if y'all know this, because y'all have seen me do videos in my car. My car has been giving me super problems. Like, it'll start, but you have to go through the electrical panel, and I've replaced the starter and all of these things, and the car just is not working. So now I'm in the process of selling it so I can try to get another car. So essentially, I have to ride public transportation to get to the bus. My boyfriend will take me to the park and ride, because if I can go to the park and ride, I don't know if y'all know what that is, but in Houston, we have something that's called a park and ride, where you can go and park your car and then get on a bus, and a bus will take you the rest of your destination. So I was getting rides to the park and ride to get to the to my job. But on the first day, I didn't know how it worked, because it was my first time using public transportation in years, so I didn't really know. So I just walked. The nearest bus stop from my home is a mile. And I have to either be to work at 7 a.m. or 6 a.m., which means that I need to be on that park and ride bus. Which for me, if I'm catching a bus leaving my house, that'll be two buses. One local city bus to get me to the park and ride, and then the park and ride bus to get me to work. I have to be at the park and ride bus an hour before I have to be to work. So if I have to be to work at 7, park and ride bus leaves at 6, 6:15 at the latest. Same with if I have to be to work at 6, I have to be at the park and ride bus 5, 5:15 at the latest. This first day, I was just gonna ride the bus to the park and ride, because I'm trying to figure everything out and, you know, see how I can work this thing. It's cold, it is January. I walk to the bus stop in the cold, it is dark outside. I'm standing at the bus stop, and the bus passes me right on up. Like, the bus literally just saw me standing there, ready. I was the only person standing there, ready to get on the bus, and she passed me up. And I'm just like, Lord, this is my first day. Like, haven't I been through enough when it comes to jobs? Like, this is my first day. And just like when I got terminated, I made a video. I walked to the gas station that was across the street just so I can kind of get under some shelter, some shade, something to try to shield me from the wind that was literally slapping me in the face. And I made a video. So here's the video. All right, Lord, so I know that you are with me. I know that you are for me. I know that you know the plans that you have for my life, but I feel like I'm being tested. You know, circumstances were such that I had to find my own way to work today. And today is my first day, so I don't want to be late. So I bought the bus passes, and I walked to the nearest stop, which was 0.8 miles. Not to mention, it is under 20 degrees today. Definitely under 30. It may be in the low 20s, but it's cold as ever. And I walked 0.8 miles to the nearest bus stop only to get there, and the lady just passed me up. The nearest bus, well, the next bus is not coming until maybe like 40 minutes from now. So I'm gonna be late, so I had to Uber. On top of the fact that I just got an exit survey from my second job that I thought was gonna keep me past seasonal. So it's just like, Lord, you know, you blessed me with a new job, but it's like I'm also getting knocked 2 steps back, because I'm standing in the cold right now waiting for my Uber to show up, because this entire strip center is closed. We have a freeze warning. But Lord, when that bus left and I walked to the spot I am now, I started to cry, but then I thought to myself, the tears are gonna freeze. I am tired, Lord, but I'm gonna keep pushing through, because I promised myself that I would do better this year. And I started the year off right. I'm sticking to my boundaries, I'm respecting myself, and I'm respecting others. Even if I get out of line, I go back and make peace, because that happened to me on the first, literally hours after we brought in the new year. God was like, let's see what you're about. But Lord, this 20-something degree weather, missing the bus, wasting money. I know, at least $4. And the wind is blowing, my hands are frozen. But God, I know that you're able, and I know that everything happens for a reason, and all things work together for the good of those that love you. So Lord, I ask that you protect me, and you see me through this. So luckily, I had enough money to catch an Uber. So I still made it to work on time, got there, and then from there, we've been working it out. You know, my boyfriend takes me to the parking lot so I don't have to catch the bus in the mornings. And then I go to work, catch the parking ride bus home. Then I have to catch an extra bus that gets me to my neighborhood. And then I have to walk that mile because his job starts after mine, and then it's longer hours because he's a merchandiser. So his job is not done until he's done. So 90% of the time, he's not at home to get me from either the parking ride or that last bus stop. So I have to make that walk. So there's that. Then I get to the job. Everything seems great. You know, I like the job. I like the exclusivity. You got a badge to get to the elevators. You got a badge to get into the doors. You got a badge to get into the restroom. The fact that I get a badge is like, oh, okay. And it's a really prominent company. You know, everything about it I enjoy, and I enjoy what I do. I work in remittance, which is basically like accounts receivable, but I do the physical, like, scanning portion of it. So I basically work in what some would call a glorified mailroom. So I get to work. If I get to work at 7, that's my normal time. If I get to work at 6, it's because the day before we had work that we didn't complete, so we needed to finish that work before the current day's work came in. So start the job at 7. When you get there, you have just enough time to kind of get you some coffee, get you some water, set your station up or set your desk up or whatever. And then the postal service comes in with like baskets of envelopes, baskets of mail. And first things first, we have to clean them. We have to sort it first. So it's about 6 different entities of companies. I work for a light company. So 6 different entities of like subsidiary companies that we have to sort and categorize. So once we do that, then we do what's called cleaning the mail. Cleaning the mail consists of like going through and seeing what is considered white mail. White mail is mail that can't really go through the machine that the standard mail can go through. So we sort that out, put that in a different basket, and then after that, we kind of keep record of what we did to sort and how many baskets we have and all that. And then the things that can't go through the machine, we take basket by basket, sit at our desk, and physically scan it and get the payments in, so that data entry in the room next to us can receive those scans and literally process the payments. We put the payments in, they process it. And that's what we do all day. When we do a basket, record it down that we've done it, mark it off, go get another one. And that's what we do. But we get 2 drops. We get a drop at 7 a.m. and a drop at 11 a.m. That pretty much holds us throughout the day. So that's great. You know, I'm doing really great. I haven't missed a day. I was late twice. One day my bus wasn't doing its thing and it didn't come on time and I had to catch an Uber, and then there was traffic. That was that. And then the week of Martin Luther King Day, it snowed in Houston really badly. And I was out of work Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And because I'm contracted and new, we didn't get paid for the holiday. And we definitely didn't get paid for those 2 days missed. So I only got Thursday, Friday, and we were able to come in Saturday and do half of that. But that week, Thursday when I returned to work, it was so much traffic because people were, you know, on the roads and they were driving slow because it was still ice. So I was about 15, 20 minutes late. So those 2 times I was late, but I never missed a day because I'm trying to learn from my mistakes. You've been absent in the past. You've been doing this, you've been doing that. So now we're going to fix all of those issues so we don't run into a problem. Cool. So that's my experience. Now let me give you, those were all the pros and the day in the life of. And I'm gonna start coming to y'all, kind of walking y'all through like what my days look like. But here comes the cons. Starting with transportation. I live 30 minutes from my job. If I could travel to work, that would be so much better. I'm working on trying to get a new car. But even if I were to drive to work, parking is super expensive downtown. So I'm looking at anywhere between $10 and $15 a day to park. And of course I can get a package, which would probably be a little bit cheaper, but it would still be expensive as hell. So my alternative is the parking ride. So even with the car, I'll be dropping myself to and from the parking ride so I don't have to catch the extra bus to get home and walk that mile every day. But even with that, between the 2 buses I have to catch to and from, because a bus pass doesn't last all day. A bus pass lasts about 3 hours. So once I have to I have to get a park and ride pass to get to work. And then I have to get another park and ride pass and that local pass to get home. That is about $50 a week. On top of the fact that my job is based on productivity. So if there isn't enough work to fill out the duration of the workday, and my supervisor can't find extra little tidbits or little knickknacks for us to do to buy time or to kill time rather, we're going home. And there have been multiple times we've gone home early. As a matter of fact, I started this job January 6th, and I believe I have had a full 40-hour work week maybe 3 or 4 times. That's a big hit because that wasn't told to me when I got the job. I don't know if it was related to the person who got me the job. That wasn't told to me. My bills will not understand that I didn't have a full work week and I don't have the money. My landlord will not understand that I didn't have a full work week and I didn't have, all of my money. My life can't understand that. So that's a con. The traveling is a con. And then I just feel like Job in the Bible right now, because while I can't be attacked on my attendance, because the 2 times I was late, it was understood and I didn't really get in trouble for it. And the first time I was late, I made that time up. The second time, she just told me to, when I do my time, just say it was 7 o'clock because, she understands. So because my attendance and my tardiness is under control, now I'm being attacked for my production. Over the past week, I've been approached more times than I'm comfortable with about mistakes that I'm making. And for some of these things, it's like, how can I know not to do this? Or how can I know to do this if I was never taught? Why isn't the person who's recognizing this issue coming to me? Because it's always the lead of the department or my supervisor, never the person who caught the infringement or the mistake to just say, hey, Kat, this is what's going on. I don't get that. I get the upper management. I get leadership to come to me and that doesn't make anybody feel good, especially when you're new. You feel like, oh my God, I'm making all these mistakes. I was actually at a point, and I'm still doing it. I was doing it this morning, where I'm applying to jobs again because I'm just like, I don't want to. It is a hit on your self-esteem and your ego and your emotions, because outside of the fact that you want to make sure you have another job before you lose this one so you're not asked out, I'm at a place now of maturity where it's like, if the best option is for me to remove myself so y'all can flourish, let me do that. While I enjoy what I do, I don't want to be a detriment or a liability in any way. My coworker really gave me some hope and some reassurance that I'm gonna be okay. Not only do they tell me that, leadership does tell me that, so let me say that. They'll be like, it's fine, it's okay. But when you come to me and we're dealing with people's money, and I could jeopardize their bill getting paid, or, our company losing money, I'm not comfortable with that, and I'm not okay with that. Those mistakes don't soothe me. I don't like making mistakes at all. Definitely ones that could greatly affect someone else. But he told me that when he first started, he started in July, and he's also a contractor, and I'm gonna get into that, that he made a lot of mistakes, and he's still here, and he doesn't see, or I don't see any risk of him leaving or he doesn't get in trouble, so I'm just like, okay, it will get better with time. Then the uncertainty of the job. I still don't know what happened, but when I got there, there were 2 people there. It's only 3 people in my little area in remittance. It was a woman and it was a guy, the guy that I was talking about. The lady had been there the longest. The guy eventually came on, and then I came on in January. Well, the Friday before, the week after Martin Luther King Day, she worked up until Thursday. Everything was fine. We were talking, cool. Everything was great. Thursday, everything was great. We show up to work Friday, she's not there. And it's odd because we all show up early. All three of us show up early. Just so we can have time to make our coffee, breakfast, go downstairs and get something from the little tunnel where all the restaurants are if we need to, smoke a cigarette, you know, pray, get on the phone. Whatever we need to do, we have that ample time to do that. So we all show up early. When I got there Friday, when he got there Friday, she was not there. And I'm like, maybe she's running late, you know, things happen, you know, whatever. Then 7 o'clock rolled around for us to start work. She still wasn't there. So I'm like, well, okay, she's definitely running late now. I hope everything is okay. Worst case scenario, she called out today. And that's also odd because none of us have missed a day. Like, we all show up every day. It was weird. So the mail comes in, we start sorting and cleaning, me and the other guy. And then the supervisor comes in, she does what she does, and that's another thing I gotta talk to y'all about. And we're on opposite ends of the room. Me and the guy is over here sorting. She's over there by our desk. And she turns around and across the room, she says, I just want to let you know that homegirl is no longer with us. Yesterday was her last day. And me and the guy look at each other like, she didn't explain. She didn't go into detail, even though it's not our business. And I'm afraid to ask because I just met her. You know, I made a month on the 6th, and by that time she was already gone. So are you even comfortable enough to reveal to me what's going on? So I don't know if she quit or if she got terminated. Now, I think she got terminated because I heard chatter and they were saying that she left some items, like a jacket and a cup. So obviously when she left, she didn't intend for that to be her last day. And I also heard she was upset. So that leans more so towards her being terminated, but it still could be that she had to quit in a huff and wasn't able to come back. I don't know, but it was just unfortunate, and it really alarmed me because it just kind of put that anxiety in my mind that, bitch, this ain't permanent. You could go at any time. You're not guaranteed. On top of the fact that everybody that's in my department is contract. Now, from what I understand, data entry, they started off contract and became permanent. But every time I ask, is that a possibility for us? She never knows. I don't know. I don't know. Well, who knows? And because I'm curious about it, wouldn't it behoove you to go and figure out that information and come back to me with it? Or am I going to be contract forever, which means that I'm not going to have benefits? And I mean, I get paid holidays unless it's through my staffing. Like, I don't understand. So that was jarring for me. On top of the fact that the supervisor, it seems like she always, if she's not coming to get on us about something, it's like she's always coming to like low-key micromanage. Like, she's not standing behind us making sure, but she'll come in and kind of look around, look at the little paper where we mark off what we've done just to see where we are, and kind of, if she sees that we're like nearing the end of a particular basket, she'll go and grab another basket and then just sit it on our desk like, do this next. And it's just like, do I have a problem with authority? Because in my mind, I don't have a problem with her doing it. It's how. It's just like, we're able-bodied. We know the job. We know that when we're done, we can get up and get something else because we already have to get up because she doesn't want us to mark it off until we're done. When I first got there, as soon as we picked it up, we would be like, okay, this is 1/2, this is 3/4, this is the whole basket. We will mark it down. She says now, don't mark it out until you're done. So when we're done, we have to get up. And where you mark off what you've done is right next to the other baskets. So we really don't need you to do this, but that's done. And like I said, the inconsistency of the hours, I'm just like, ugh, like that isn't the best. Is there anything else I want to talk to y'all about as it related to the job and what I don't really like? I think that's it. Yeah, because everything else is just kind of minor things that I needed to work on. One time, the day I made up that time when I was late, they said it was okay. Then they came back and was like, this is a one-time thing. And it's just like, first of all, you could have said that when I asked you. Number two, I could have just missed the time if it was that big of a deal, you know? Then one day, we don't get any overtime. That's for damn sure we don't get any overtime. Then one day, it was last week actually, we had to work 10 minutes over one day because my supervisor came in the room and was like, let's finish this. Let's finish today before we leave. Well, that set me and the guy 10 minutes back. So we wrote the time down on our sheet. And then when I did my time sheet, that particular day had 8 hours and 10 minutes. She gonna reach out to me and was like, what's going on? And I said, well, you told us to finish the job and it took us 10 minutes over. Oh, okay, well, keep me honest. You don't remember what you said that same week? It happened on a Tuesday. I submitted time on a Friday. And last week, we missed work. I reported 39 hours and 10 minutes. Because we left an hour early. Because they were re-updating our systems and re-updating our software. So we couldn't use our computers to scan. So after we did the knick-knack work, because at first we were going to leave at 11. At 11:30, which was our lunchtime, we were going to leave for the day. She said, don't go to lunch. Well, you can, but just don't come back. Then she came right before lunch and was just like, I'm going to have y'all do A, B, and C, which kept us from 12:30 when we got back till 2. So that was another hour and a half that we were able to tax on, which I'm grateful for. But it still wasn't, what I needed. And it's just like, oh my God, like, if it could just work out for me, I would just be so grateful because it's weekly pay. Like I said, it's more than I've been making on my last job, Monday through Friday. Great. If I can have the security of knowing that my mistakes won't deter me from continuing on, I'm new. I'm still learning, and it's not detrimental mistakes, but I feel like they are because I don't want to make any mistakes, The hours, if everything could kind of work out, I would be so happy, but I don't know, And if YouTube takes off, or if my music takes off, and something extracurricular takes off, or if when I get a car, my boyfriend does Uber Eats. So he works, comes home, takes a bath, changes clothes, and does Uber Eats for a couple hours. I can do the same. If I could make ends meet and live a comfortable life, I would be happy. But at this point, I'm just tired of struggling and just going through the same motions and not having enough. I know it's not good to compare, but when I see my peers and they have nice apartments and nice cars and they dress nice and they eat at nice restaurants, hair done, nails done, everything did, and they go on trips and stuff, I'm just like, how? Because y'all don't look like y'all scam me. I got regular 9-to-5s, but it's like y'all on that shit. And I understand that, most of these people went and got their degrees, and so they have jobs that are, that require degrees, which pay more. But that's just a small percentage. A lot of people go to college, get a 4-year degree, and can't do anything with that degree. I know somebody right now working in retail that has a degree in business management. Can't do nothing with it if they're not hiring for that. So, yeah, I'm just in a period of just trying to figure it out, so I thought I would vent because, maybe somebody else is going through it. Maybe somebody else got some tips. I don't know. I just wanted to get it out so I can move the hell on and stop stressing over that. But yeah, that's all I really want to talk about in this video. Love y'all. Thanks for watching. Make sure you are liking, commenting, subscribing, and sharing. Make sure that your notifications are on. Let me know that you're here. Look at other videos. Listen to my music. I have music out on all streaming platforms. Add me on Instagram and TikTok. And I will see y'all when I see y'all. Same place, same time.